Going on, everybody? It's Dr. Chris Featherstone here for yet another episode of Unscripted. Listen, it is Tuesday night. You know what that means. I have some of the biggest, the baddest, the best wrestlers of today and yesteryear. And guess what? Tonight is no different. Why is tonight no different? Because I have someone who has biceps bigger than Bobby Lashley's, and she's going to prove it tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's interesting before she comes on up. It's interesting because I've been asked this question. I've been doing this for a long time now, and I was asked this question on one of my shows. I said if there was one female, I was asked if there's one female in AEW when this person was there. If there was one female in AEW, if you had the books, who would you push to the moon? Who would you push? I was asked, and I said this person actually, because I said there's just so much potential, and I felt at the time she was being grossly underused because she just had a bunch of potential in her theme music. Everybody knows on Sportskeeda, I'm a big fan of theme music, good theme music, and the theme music really fit her character. And I said if I had the books, I would push her to the moon, and I still feel that way actually. So if I become a booker for something, I know she's killing an indie scene now. She has a title, if I'm not mistaken, Phoenix of the Rise. So I think she'll let me know more about that when she comes on. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, biceps that makes Bobby Lashley looks like pimples. Big Swole, how are you tonight?
I'm good. I'm good. I don't know about that. I mean, they're okay today. They're okay.
Pretty solid, yeah. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, doing fantastic. So, uh, before we get into all these questions from live from the fans from the SK Nation, let the listeners know like what are you up to nowadays as far as promotion? Got any as far as promotions you work for? Got any upcoming dates or anything like that?
Well, I'm working for Battle Club now the most. I am their Icons Women's Champion. So I do have the Black Wrestle Fest this weekend in Brooklyn. So I'll be
Mhm.
there for the Juneteenth on Sunday. I will be facing Willow Nightingale. So I'm really excited about that.
Nice, yeah, cool. So, was I off with the title? Wasn't it something like
No,
Phoenix of
well,
the
yes, it was the Rise of the Phoenix,
Rise of
but
Phoenix?
Rise is no longer around,
Ah,
so I had to pretty much give that up. But I'm still champion. That was the
yes,
last
you are
one.
still champ. That's right. You're. It doesn't matter if the company's not there. That has nothing to do with
Right,
you. You're still the
right,
champ. So,
exactly.
absolutely. Where can they find you for to support you to get tickets and all that good stuff? Where can they find you on social media before we jump into these questions?
You can find me on Twitter at Swole World or on Instagram at the Big Swole or TikTok at Swole World.
Fantastic. All right,
Yeah.
let's start with Guillermo asking how was competing in the Mae Young Classic and facing Nia Jax.
Ooh, I actually loved both of those experiences. The Mae Young Classic was amazing. It was something that I wanted to do the first round, but I
Mhm,
was really sick, and so I couldn't do it then. But I'm glad I got in there on the second round. And it was just amazing being around all those women, and we're all just kind of striving for the same thing, just to put women's wrestling on the map,
mhm,
in a sense. But that was just, it was great. I met so many new friends that you think you have all your friends slot filled, and then next thing you know, someone like Jenny or Killer Kelly comes around and just totally changes things for
mhm.
you.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
it was amazing, and facing Nia Jax was awesome. Like it was a great experience. I was already riding the high of
Mhm,
that whole entire weekend, and it was really easy because it was just another match for me.
mhm, mhm.
I was really just there for the experience.
Now, how do they pick? Like, unfortunately, it was a cool experience, but I wish that you would have gotten a bigger stage as far as you were one of her like people she was plowing through in her rise to superstardom. How was it? How is it of like how do they recruit? Like people like why you? And you went by, I mean, your real name's Ariel, right? So you went
Hmm.
by like Ariel. You had a different last name, right?
Monroe, Ariel Monroe.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, like so. How did how did Ariel Monroe come? How did they pick you? How did that come about?
Well, my friend Devin Nicole, big huge shout out to her. She's so amazing. She texted me. She was like, "Hey, they have this slot open up, and they asked me who would I want to face in a match, and I told them you." And I was like, "Oh, that's great." So of course I get in my car, I drive down to Atlanta, and of course we drive, to the next show the next day. But it was just her and I there as far as extra female talent. And I was smaller. So I got chosen. They were like, yeah, you're the little one. So you're cute and small.
Yeah,
like
that
like
was perfect
you'll get
fodder
them.
uh
It,
for
it
Nia at the time. So
it was, but I wasn't, I wasn't no punk. I was like, they were laying the match down because the agent at the time was fit. And just being able to be in the ring with him and tie up with him, I was just like a kid in a candy store, of course.
uh,
But they're just explaining everything, and I'm just giving my input because I'm a wrestler. No matter what stage it is, if you know psychology, then speak up. And so
that's right.
they were glad about that. And I was just like, look, anything goes off the rails, I will respond accordingly. So we had a couple, like that first little beginning was definitely not necessarily supposed to happen, but I was like, hey, you hit me hard, I hit you harder.
That's right.
So, but it was fun though.
Yeah, that's old school. If you give me a receipt, I give you one back. That's
Right,
that's how it
exactly.
goes.
CBS long, baby.
Now it's I think Fitz over in AEW. Did you ever get to
Mhm.
work with them when you were there?
No, no, no. I didn't get to work
Okay.
with Fit. I did a lot of work with like Dean
Okay.
and Dustin and
Gotcha.
Cody.
Gotcha. Yeah. I think he's over at AEW if I'm
I
not
I
mistaken.
think so. I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. I know his son David wrestled recently there. So
Mm.
I think he's over there. Let's see. Roy's asking, greetings from Puerto Rico. Not many
And
people know you served in the United States Air Force as a fire truck mechanic. What was that experience like, and what female wrestlers inspired you to get into wrestling?
ooh, double whammy. Two opposite questions too.
Yeah.
Uh when I tell you I had the best time in the Air Force, like it was almost a dream come true because I initially went into the Air Force because I promised my mom when I was younger that I would do that for her because no one pushed her to follow her dreams.
Okay.
So when I joined, I was like, I want to do something that I loved doing, and which was already working on cars. So I was like, why not, kick it up a notch and do fire truck, heavy duty gas engines, heavy duty diesels, and it was amazing. Like I liked being one of the only females in the field because it was almost a shock to them every time I knew something. So it was
Yeah.
great. It was a great time. I met like the wildest people. I got into country music, which was
Mm.
awesome because you live in North Carolina and in Goldsboro, you pick up some things. They just got a Popeyes like 4 years ago, so
Oh,
like
really?
yeah,
Nice.
that's big things, big things. When I went there, they had a Shoney's and
Uh-huh.
a Ryan's and a
Yep.
Sizzlers.
Oh, not we. I
Oh,
know about Shoney's and Ryan's. I don't know about Sizzler. I'm
but
in Ohio.
let's a Sizzler joint. But yeah, yeah, they
What
they're
is
they're,
that?
they're come up. It's a steakhouse.
Okay.
No, it is
Makes
a
sense.
steakhouse. It's a family restaurant. It was like strictly just for the families. You go to the Sizzler or like for after businesses, they do like business lunches there and stuff too. Like good steaks, good
Nice.
good
Nice.
steaks.
I love steaks. My
Yeah,
favorite. My favorite.
yeah, back in the day, yeah, but nowadays I can't eat the red meat. I can't get down on it.
No, 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 not
No,
red meat.
no, no, no. I can't
Completely
get down.
cut. Completely cut.
Completely cut out, and I don't down on
That's
the
good.
swine either. But I'm sorry to finish this man's question. This question.
No, no, you're good. You're
My,
good.
my sorry. Look, this is gonna be. Look, I'll go off. I'll go off. I'll be like, look, this. Um,
No
the
problem.
female wrestlers that inspired me, of course, Jazz, Jacqueline. I loved Ivory because she's hard ass. I love the hard characters.
Mhm.
China, like the ones that just they stick up for themselves, they stick up for others, and they don't take no stuff.
Tough as nails.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tough. They're
Um,
tough.
Mae Young definitely fits into that category as being
Oh
tough. Yeah.
man. And resilient.
Yes, yes. Being power bomb through a table at 80 years old.
Listen,
It can't be tougher than
listen.
that.
I'll take a pass.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Aaron is asking, is it true that you were trained by George South? What was it like
Mm,
being in one of the cinematic matches, tooth and nail of the pandemic wrestling area?
yes, I was trained by this number one, George South, best
Mhm.
trainer in the
That was
world.
so
I know there's yeah,
yeah.
there's a lot of people that'll say that, but he really is the best. When you talk about like getting it down and knowing your stuff, like he's amazing. George South was an amazing trainer.
Nice.
Him, of course, Cedric, Jake Manning,
Mhm.
Caleb Conley,
Yep.
they all helped train me, and amazing bunch. You want to get some good training, high spots was where it's at. Yeah,
George South
definitely.
is just a cool dude too.
He
Yeah.
he is. He
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
He makes me laugh so much, especially with his gimmick table, man. Look, don't talk to him unless you're buying
Oh, what's the
something.
gimmick table?
It's he takes his gimmick table wherever he goes. And it now mind you, George always has this woman working the gimmick table for him. And she'll
Mhm.
go around to certain cities with him and work this gimmick table.
Mhm.
Nicest lady ever. But he'll tell her get her behind back to that table because he's about his money. She can't be talking to nobody else unless you're about the cheese. Like George is carny to a fault, and I love him. I love him
Nice.
for it.
Nice. I love it.
Yeah, I love it.
Um, and then what was it like being in one of the cinematic matches, tooth and nail, of the pandemic wrestling era?
It was interesting. At first, it was great because I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be cool. This is gonna be awesome." But then once everything kind of just like got to film time, it just kind of like went everywhere.
Mhm.
But I'm glad we actually did it because I mean I didn't know where the story was gonna go, and I know that we just had so much writing on the story, and we just kind of it didn't end it the way we wanted it to, but it was pretty cool. At least they listened, to some of the advice that I had. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's see here. Um, Kevin is wondering if you'd go back to the WWE.
I mean, listen, I've been trying to get Cedric to talk to him into letting me manage him for a minute.
Oh, I like that
Listen,
idea.
yeah, we're yin and yang when it comes to certain
Okay.
things, and I'm like, listen, if you can get me in there where I ain't got to be taking no bumps, hey, let's do it. I mean, of course, I would want my little time and like Royal Rumble. I want to do that
Mhm.
one little spot and be out. But outside of that, I would love to work with him just because I know how much we feed off of each other at home. So I know
Mhm.
it's just automatically going to be magic. But yeah, of course.
Now,
Hey,
how
money's
often
money.
do you? Yeah, that's right. How often do y'all train together? Just not only just in the gym normally, but just as far as like, in the ring.
Not at all.
Not at
Not at all.
all.
Not at
Really?
all anymore. We used to train a lot, but now I guess with how everything's working as far as home life, it's we don't get a lot of that type of training. Now we do like jujitsu together, and I'm trying to talk him into doing Muay Thai, and we do like early 6 a.m. wrestling training. But as
Mhm.
far as getting into the ring together, we kind of like keep that separate. And
Mhm.
especially as far as gym, he's lifting weights. I've stopped lifting weights. I've canceled it out my life. It's too much stress on my body.
Really? Mm.
Yeah. I was like, I'll do calisthenics and just be strong, like freakishly
Mhm.
strong out of nowhere.
Mhm. What other, like, other than calisthenics, what other training do you do? You talked about the MMA training. Is that pretty much
Yes.
your schedule as far as
That
workout for the
yeah,
week?
that's my schedule. I pretty much just go, it's like 3 minutes up the road at Bamboo, and I just drill. I drill,
Yeah.
drill, drill. I can drill all day.
Yeah, yeah. You're used to that with when it comes to training, when it comes to
Hmm.
military training. So you're aware of that
Oh,
type of grinding type of workout regimen for
hmm,
sure. So yeah.
exactly. But now it's
Uh
because I want to.
right, right, right. But before you had to, now you want to.
Before I,
Yeah.
yeah, before I had to.
Mario is asking straight up, why did they get rid of you?
Well, we came to an agreement. I told TK that before we had our like exit interview, I guess that's what they call them now, that I didn't want to resign because it's just messing with my peace. And if something messes with my peace, I gotta go. I started to realize that I was more sick with my Crohn's disease, with the Crohn's disease, with being with AEW than ever in my whole career. So I knew that I was like, I had to prioritize, myself, over wrestling in a sense.
Yeah,
If there's no Ariel, there's no Big Swole.
Mm-hmm.
So when it
Yeah.
came down to it, we had our exit interview. I told them exactly, how I felt, and we kind of just parted ways. And they were like, "We're gonna let you handle it however you want to, since it's like an amicable split." And they were just like, "Oh well, we'll." It's like it's always open for you to come back, and also, just normal energy.
Mm-hmm. Was it a contract is expire, or you just went up to them and said, "Hey, I'm gonna have to, bounce," basically?
Well, I told them that before my contract expired.
Gotcha.
And so we kind of just let it just run out because I
Gotcha.
was like at the 2 years and I was like, I don't want to do the 3rd year extension. I want my piece.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with 100%. I'm a psychology doctor, and I understand how peace is important because I'm a therapist. So
So
I agree with
important.
you 100%. Yes,
It's
100%.
so important.
Yes, indeed. Kevin is also asking, which one was, I guess, better, Top Gun Navy or Air Force? Top Gun Maverick, Navy or Air Force? I don't necessarily know exactly what
Um,
is that.
I would say Air Force because of course I'm biased. I'm biased and I'm partial. But when you're a fire truck mechanic, you have to work on the flight line, and them suckers can move. Okay,
Nice.
there's nothing like there's no plugging your ears like that's not enough. Like I need the earplugs, I need the ear muffs. Like it's a rush. And just to
Mm,
see them go out there and do their routines and do their little markers, it's amazing. They are
nice.
second to none. I feel like the Air Force is second to none, and that's why it's harder to get into.
Mhm. Yeah, very nice. So Sizzler soup and salad bars is what he says he likes.
Yes, yes, they had a really good soup and salad bar. Think like Ruby Tuesdays, but better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know some old people gonna probably get on me about their Ruby Tuesdays, but I'm sorry, Gertrude, but it's nasty.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not too crazy about Ruby Tuesdays.
Right.
I actually get free food there every now and then because I have like free stuff that come to my email for my birthday. My birthday's in July.
Mm.
You're a July baby too, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
What day?
Uh, second.
The second? Oh, I'm the 11th.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
super close.
Yep. Yeah. Almost a week apart. So I get birthday stuff like sent to me on email, and I get free
Hmm.
Ruby Tuesdays like meals. Like, and it's like
You still
20.
don't go?
Yeah, and I still don't go. Like, just because I mean they're okay, and like I don't go because of the distance. My house is like the furthest one. I mean, the closest one's probably 25 minutes away. It used to be even further than that. It used to be like 35 minutes away. I was like, I'm not going to waste gas.
What our parents say? There are kids starving in Africa.
They are. There are kids
Chris,
that starving in Africa.
there are kids starving in Africa, Christopher. You better eat this food.
Right. Right. Call me by my government name.
Right, the whole government.
The
Look,
government there.
I'm known for doing that. That was my thing.
Oh, really? Or was it? I
Look,
love it.
I'm the mama hen no matter where I go.
Nice, nice. You've got that mama hen vibe, and I definitely
I
think
do. I
you can
do. And
be like the big sis in AEW.
I was. That's why I was a Swole East fan. Every time I come around, brr, I was like, oh,
Nice.
here comes the mama Swole East. I was like, yeah, come here.
What are some? You don't have to necessarily say names, although it would be spicier if you did. But what type of detainment, so to speak, that the Swolees had to do while you were in AEW backstage?
Man, I was in charge. First I was a parliamentarian, so I had to keep the peace. So
Okay.
anybody had any type of problem, especially in the ladies' locker room, they come to me, I'll handle it.
Mhm.
So we had issues with extras, feeling themselves a little too much, like smelling themselves, as the old
Uh,
folks would say. You're smelling yourself a little
right.
bit, okay? Look, just
Get a
because
little
you
too
hear,
big for your
see,
britches,
you a
right?
little too big for your britches, boy. Don't put a belt on them things.
Right.
um, even sometimes with the guys, like
Mhm.
they know if I'm marching towards you, especially if I call out your government name, it's over. Like there are a couple times like I had to pull Jericho, like, hey, Christopher. He's like, Swole, what I did now. I was like, nah, don't give me no lie. I heard that you had he was like,
Right.
no, Swole, that wasn't me. That's usually the case. Everybody becomes like the kid caught with their hand in the cookie jar.
Right. The
And I'm
cookie
like, because
jar.
I'm gonna get to the bottom of it and I'm gonna make you
Mhm.
squash it.
Yes. Yes.
I was like,
See,
because
move over Wrestler's Court in the WWE. That has nothing on Swolees, ladies and gentlemen.
listen, I was the court.
Yes, indeed. Judge, jury, and executioner.
Done. And the attorney at law.
And the
Better call
attorney at law.
better
Esquire.
call Swole.
Yes, indeed. Elvis is asking, hi there, beautiful Big Swole. Who is on your female Mount Rushmore?
As far as wrestling, or as far as what? You gotta give me some specifics.
Yeah,
I
female
don't know. As far
top
as
four female wrestlers.
top four. Okay, that's hard. That's hard because I like to mix in the new school and the old school. Um, I would have to say uh Gail Kim
Okay.
one because she's just great inside of there. Um, I may get some flack for this one, but I feel like Rhea Ripley
Mm,
is top notch, and I feel like she's on her way. I like piggybacking on the Mae Young Classic. I saw that woman go in there and have that match with a language barrier, and literally only had like 5 minutes. That whole eight
mm,
hours to rehearse, no, it was five because of the injury and everything that
mm,
had just happened. And just for her to keep her level head and continue and then kill it like that, I was like,
mm,
that's a star. That's a
mm,
star. You don't get one of those, or those don't come around every blue moon.
mhm.
So she's definitely one. So yeah, Gail Kim, Rhea, uh, definitely going to put Jazz up there.
Oh
I
yeah.
just feel like she made the stars for me. I feel like there wouldn't be any Trish Stratus if it wasn't for Jazz, if it wasn't for her taking the bumps, if it wasn't for her, doing the matches and stuff like that. You're only as good as your competitor, that
Mm,
person across the ring from you.
mhm.
And I'm gonna put China because Impact and accolades, and
Mhm.
she was amazing. And I feel like she needs to be in a Hall of Fame by herself.
Agreed.
And she was just amazing. Ninth wonder of the world, like that broke my heart. Broke my heart. My heart
Yeah.
got broken twice in 1 week because between her and Prince in the same, I was like same year, same week. It was
Wow.
a rough one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And China's the first and only
Yeah.
women's
Intercontinent.
intercontinental
Yeah.
champion. Yeah.
Right.
Ace is asking, would you go to Impact Wrestling?
I would. I would. I definitely would. I feel
Nice.
like one day, I feel like they can use some sauce like me, somebody that, if I could book myself, honestly, I would honestly come in and do something with Tasha because I feel like the energy would be matched.
Mm.
And I would find some way to kick Savannah to the curb. No offense, but I know that her and I used to be a tag team, so I would work that into there and definitely try to do like some Tasha and Swole type of magic.
I like it. Very
But yeah,
nice.
I'll definitely go to Impact. They have the best women's roster right now. Like they have some great heavy hitters.
They
And
do.
honestly, if they were on primetime TV, everybody better watch out because they putting out good stuff.
They are. They are. I
Yeah,
agree.
it's
Very,
good
very
stock over
underrated.
there.
Yes,
Mm.
indeed. Girls, Guillermo also is asking, how's it working with with Britt Baker? You already talked about the tooth and nail match, but just working with Britt Baker as a whole.
It's fine. Yeah, I feel like with certain people, you just got to know how to learn people.
Okay.
I feel like she just has one of those personalities where you have to learn who she is. You
Mm.
know, because a million things going on in her inside of her head, and you just have to like learn the little nuances. But I mean, once I learned it, it was easy. It was easy working
Nice.
with her. Yeah,
How
because
was
it
the
was just like, what do you
backstage?
think about this?
Yeah. Before we go, how was the backstage environment in AEW as a whole, in your opinion at least?
When I guess from start to finish, it was amazing. Started off great. Everything was cool. And I guess everything just started to like wave once the pandemic kind of just hit and a lot of uncertainty happened, but it was just a chill place. When you talk about no rules, you know,
Mm.
except like there's one rule, type of thing, type of situation, but it was more of a family. Like the people were close, super
Yeah,
close. Like
nice.
these are some of the people where watch my kid type of close.
Okay. How was the reaction backstage when so no, you were backstage. Were you still there when Cody left?
No, no, I left before Cody.
You left before Cody left. Okay, gotcha. Did y'all pick up at all? Like there was, Cody was on his way out because I know that he had a lot to do with the executive part and
hmm
being the production and all that. Did anybody
I
pick up a vibe that Cody was leaving at
I
all?
don't I have no idea if they did, but I saw it.
You did?
Yeah, I
Oh,
saw it clear. I saw it clear as day.
also,
I honestly, because while you're there, like I said, I watch people, and when you watch people, you pick up on things, especially like uh, feelings and how they talk about certain things while they're there. Because at first it was all chipper and high and everything like that, but they're still talking in the same way, but the tone is different.
uh,
It's not as happy. So when
mhm.
you can see somebody getting a little, restless or they're like, oh, I want to do something different, I was like, all right, they're leaving.
Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
very,
I
very,
mean, I
very,
saw that with a couple people. I was like, eh. You know,
yeah,
some
yeah.
people have like that Tigger syndrome. I know because I have it too. You can't sit still for a long time.
Mhm.
And you're like, oh, I just want something better and better and better. And there's nothing wrong with that. Striving for greatness and striving for better is what everybody should be doing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Well, before we go, interesting. Tony said dream match. His dream match is Big Swole versus Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship. Would you
Uh,
concur?
yeah, yeah. I would love to wrestle her. I
Yes,
love to wrestle.
indeed.
We've had plenty of talks, and I think that it would be awesome, especially
I agree.
like integrating the different types of styles. Definitely dream match. If I was like to have like, look, Vincent, I'm coming in for a year. This is what I want. I would prefer that to be the culmination, but I would definitely, hit off the greats. Bianca,
Nice.
Rhea. Uh,
Mhm.
I definitely want to match with Sasha. Definitely want to match with Naomi. Naomi's definitely top up there on that list, and
Mhm.
Charlotte, and Io, and Asuka. Be like, look, hit me with the hitters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Becky,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, Becky. Yep. Last question. What do you think of the Thunder Rosa issue?
issue.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of I guess buzz or articles and news about she's difficult to work with backstage, according to the articles going around the wrestling dirt sheets.
Hmm. Difficult. When you said issue, I was like, I thought you were gonna bring up something totally different. Because every
Mhm.
time I turn around, there's something new happening with AEW and their talent. But I don't think she's difficult. I think she's very passionate, and uh, I feel that sometimes when Mel, oh, oops, sorry. Sometimes when Thunder, sometimes when Thunder speaks, she's very passionate and she's very loud about it. Like she's very in your face. And most people would say that as abrasive, but I don't think she's difficult to deal with. Um, I do wish they put her on TV more. I
Yes.
feel like I for almost forgot that she was champion because I don't see her outside of vignettes or 5 minute hey and there. Bye. I mean, the girl can work. I've seen all these other people before I've seen the champion, but I
Yeah.
don't think she's difficult to work with. I don't know if anything has changed, but given the way things are going, there's probably some frustration going on because if I was women's champion, I'd definitely be frustrated that I wasn't featured more predominantly like there have been with their previous champions.
Were you ever frustrated that you weren't featured like in a major role? I know that you had some, a hot angle with Britt for a second, but other than that, I in my opinion, they grossly underused you. Did you feel the same way or no?
Oh yes, most definitely. But I took that and I pitched. I pitched my butt off. I was like, I'm not gonna sit on my hands because they don't see, well, they see my potential, they see it, but they don't want to, capitalize on it. Just because they want to capitalize, I'm like, no, I'm gonna continue to be in your face until you give me what I want. And once I came with that three strikes match, I was like, look, closed mouths don't get fed. And that's what I was telling the ladies is because we weren't getting anywhere. The women's division was stagnant. It was at stalemate. And I was like, you guys got to start pitching more. You guys got to start pitching more.
Yeah.
And then when they did pitch, only one of them was taken up, which was mine. And I don't know. I just I just want more for the ladies.
Yes.
I just want
Yes.
them to have more. Like, Lord, like it's
Yeah.
been time. Let's go.
Yep. Totally understand.
They're
Absolutely.
totally capable.
Yep. Yep. All right. Let's listeners know. It's been a pleasure chatting with
Thank
you,
you.
and it's been fun. Let the listeners know one more time where to find you and on social media and upcoming dates.
You can find me this weekend in Brooklyn at Battle Club Pro, and I'll be there defending my title against Willow Nightingale on Sunday at the Black Wrestle Fest. You can find me on Twitter at Swole World, on Instagram at the Big Swole, or on TikTok at Swole World.
Nice. It's been a pleasure, Swell. Thanks so much for coming through
Thank
tonight.
you. Thank you for
My
having
pleasure.
me. I appreciate it. Have a good
Thank you.
night.
You too. Thank you. Bye bye.